What is up? In this tutorial, I'm going to be building a Khitan-themed tiny house. For the build, you'll need the following DLCs: the Imperial East, Blood and Sand, Riders of Hyboria, and People of the Dragon. So with that said, let's get to it. We're going to start off the build by forming a 2x6 base using arena ceilings and stable pillars. When placing the pillars, and depending on terrain, I would lower them 6 times into the ground. Once that's done, you're going to extend out the base from the 2 central ceilings on each side by 1 more ceiling. And don't forget to support the new ceilings with stable pillars. The next step is to place some stable pillars on the corners and nooks of the base of the build. To do this, you'll be using an advanced building pillar technique. To start, attach a stair piece to the ceiling that you want your corner pillar to attach to. You're then going to place a pillar on the top center piece of the stairs. Next, attach a ceiling piece to the top of the pillar. From here, you're going to attach another stair piece to the newly added ceiling, this time facing it towards the corner of where you want your pillar to be placed. You're then going to connect a pillar to the underneath middle section of the newly placed stairs, extending the pillar into the ground. The last step is to delete all excess pieces. Now we could repeat this process to get the remaining pillars placed on the corners and nooks. However, there is a faster way to do this now that we have an initial corner pillar placed. For this, we'll be using Numidian ceiling pieces. If you connect the ceiling to the top of your corner pillar, you can then build out towards the next location of where you want your next pillar. Once over the spot, you can connect a pillar to the underneath of the ceiling and extend it towards the ground. Repeat this process until you have the stable pillars in these locations. Now that that's done, let's finish up the flooring to the second floor of our house by filling in the remaining gaps. Just make sure you leave a 2x1 space open for your stairs. Now that the floor is placed, this enables us to add an arena doorway and walls to the first floor of the house. The reason being, if you place the doorway and walls first, they would prevent you from placing the ceiling above them to the second floor. We're then going to connect the stable walls to the underneath of our arena ceilings. From here, replace the stable pillars with arena pillars. The reason why we initially use stable pillars is because their collision box is the smallest out of all the other pillars, and they do not obstruct some of the other building pieces that the arena pillars do. Moving on to the entryway of our house, start by connecting a Numidian vaulted ceiling intersection to the spot right in front of the arena doorway. Then connect a Numidian stair piece to the vaulted ceiling. And last, connect a Khitan fence to the vaulted ceiling. Alright, moving on to the second floor, we're going to have to add more pillars to the corners and nooks by using the same techniques I showed you from earlier. This time though, I would stack the pillars too high, because sometimes the game won't recognize that a single pillar is placed if it's not connected to the ground. With that said, place stable pillars and Numidian ceiling pieces in these spots. We're now going to replace the corner ceiling pieces with Numidian vaulted ceiling inverted corner pieces. With that done, we can now place our Khitan walls and windows in these spots. From here, we're ready to start working on the roof. First, let's start with deleting the stable pillars that are above the Numidian ceiling pieces. Then, replace all the stable pillars with Khitan pillars. Next, using a combination of Khitan sloped roof, corner roof, and inverted roof pieces, we will enclose the first portion of the roof by connecting them to the inside of the Numidian ceiling pieces. Next, we're going to be using the same combination of Khitan roof pieces and connect them to the outer side of the Numidian ceiling pieces. From here, we'll be connecting Khitan slope wall pieces in these spots. And we'll be finishing the roof by adding more Khitan sloped roof and inverted sloped roof pieces. Alright, so moving on to the interior of the build, the 2x1 space we left open from earlier connects struts to the bottom of those Numidian ceilings. Then place a Numidian stairpiece. And last, connect lattice half walls to the tops of your struts. Moving back to the outside, there's only a few more things to do. First, let's not forget about placing our arena door. And last, let's connect Khitan lanterns to the bottom of your Numidian vaulted ceiling pieces. And with that completes the build.